TaxCalc Tools Maintenance Buyout Calculator. You'll find the buyout calculator in the Tools tab. It'll be the first one here. This buyout calculator is meant to be an estimate of a buyout of support. There's a number of options that you have when using this calculator. It's my opinion and my suggestion that you use ranges and variables and different options to come up with a range for a buyout. There's not a one calculation that applies. So if you look at this buyout calculator, it will try and auto-populate the payor and payee based upon who has more income if you've entered that information. It also will enter in the dates of birth. So just double check to make sure the payor and payee are correct. The present value date will be the date you want to do the calculation. The start date, obviously the date the payments or the first payment would begin. So I usually will have to adjust that payment start date to determine some future date when it begins. And then you can build essentially your buyout calculation. So if you just have one maintenance amount, these are monthly amounts, you can put in that one amount for however many years. This is built where you can calculate step downs or increases or delayed payments if you wanted to maybe buy out only the second half or the back half. You can do different calculations here with up to 5 different monthly amounts and durations. So for example, maybe you had $12,000 for 60 months and then it drops to $1,000 for 60 months. A total of 120 months, but it will calculate the mortality and interest calculations through that entire payment system. If you wanted to buy out kind of the back half, you can certainly do 0 for 60 months and then 1,000 for 60. So this would be trying to calculate the value of that $1,000 per month for the back half of this duration. So that's certainly creative, different ways to use this, but you can kind of set up that payment stream, set up that duration, and then obviously as you go through you're going to see the sum of all payments without discounts, and then you'll see the discounts begin. The first discount would be for remarriage. In my calculations, I generally do not apply a remarriage discount. I just don't think the data is very accurate. But if you did, you can always toggle that discount on, and you'll see the first discount will be for the probability of remarriage. I think it's more so there just as an explanation that remarriage is a risk in a buyout calculation, so that can be something that you might apply on a case-to-case basis. The other discounts that you'll see would be a discount for mortality, so again the probability of death of either party, and then a discount for interest. And when you look at these calculations, you can change which discounts are applied. So you can go through and turn off the mortality or interest discounts. Again, creatively, there may be reasons and things to do that. Also, the interest rate and tax discount are something that you can play with. I would recommend using different interest rates and again establishing more of a range. The 4% is there just as a placeholder, not really as an opinion of what it should be. My suggestion would be to try to match your interest rate to the type of asset or the expectation of what asset is being used to buy it out. What would that asset grow at, or what would the rate of return be for something like that? So trying to match it from a case-to-case scenario would be my suggestion. And then obviously here there's a payment and a buyout, and this is just trying to determine if the payment is coming from a pre-tax asset. Let's say you're using a 401k to buy out a maintenance stream. You obviously need to account for taxes. So if you do make this adjustment, you'll see it automatically inputs a tax discount there. If you're using cash to make the payment, you certainly don't need a tax discount because maintenance is cash and you're using cash to pay it out. In some cases, you might actually have, both at a pre-tax, or you're trying to buy out something at a pre-tax value. You can change these, but for most cases, you're using cash and cash. You're using a cash value to pay out a maintenance award, and again, after our laws have changed, all of your maintenance awards are cash payments. So this is the maintenance buyout calculator. A lot of flexibility here, very often used, but again, I would suggest doing ranges, doing multiple variables, both duration, just different interest rates, and then getting a kind of a general idea of what a buyout would be.